Hello.
Hi, I'm Jordan. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Jackie. Nice to meet you.
How are you doing today?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing good. Is 20 minutes still okay?
Yes, that's fine with me.
Well, as you probably know, I'm from NetSuite. Here's my card.
Thank you.
How much do you know about NetSuite?
You know, I talked with Brock a little bit. I know that you guys are a software solution provider,
Yes.
but really, I don't know that much. So I'm super excited to have you here.
Okay, awesome.
Tell me more about it.
I will try to get to the point pretty fast because I know that you are busy and low on time. So I've been with NetSuite for about 1.5 years, so I might look young, but I kind of know what I'm doing. And I did do a little bit of research on your business, and y'all do wholesale office supplies and filing systems and computers and whatnot. Is that correct?
Yes, we do.
And I also know that y'all are known for quick turnarounds and having quality products, so
Yes,
obviously that's a good sign.
We pride ourselves off of that.
Yeah, of course. And I did see that the average growth rate is 9%, so y'all are doing awesome. Do y'all have any goals as to where you want your growth rate to be?
Yeah. So, you know, we right now are in Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, but we're really looking to expand these next couple of years.
Yeah,
which
I
is,
did see that.
Why we wanted to meet with you guys.
Yeah, definitely. And then I saw that your sales revenue is $168 million, which is awesome.
Yes.
So as far as expansion goes, where are you expecting the revenue to go?
That is a very good question. You know, right now we're at 168, and we really just want to increase throughout these few years. You know, we're projected to finish up in 8.3 in 2016, and then in 2017 we're projected at 7.5. So.
Okay. So are you happy with those projected numbers?
You know, it's the best that we can do. A lot's going on, but we're working really hard to get where we need to.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like expansion is good, but at the time of actually expanding, it's just a lot of work to make sure sales forces are in order and, you know, all of that stuff is taken care of.
Yes, exactly.
And
there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, definitely. And I saw, looking at your sales structure, y'all have around 30 people as part of your sales force.
Yes.
So how are the sales going as far as the methodology behind, you know, what you do and how you're recording all of your sales and all of that kind of stuff?
Yes. So currently we are working with 2 separate systems.
Okay.
Yes. So we have an internal and an external, which is working fine for right now.
Yeah.
But with us planning on growing, we need to look into something else just because it's a lot of confusion. There's miscommunication going on.
Okay.
So it's kind of a lot. It's okay, like I said, for right now, but there's really no centralized system for everyone to really put all their information and data into.
So how, right now, because if there's no centralized system, I assume that y'all try to get it centralized at some point. So what's the process as far as kind of bringing all that information into one location?
So sometime throughout the week, our employees need to put it into the system.
Okay.
And this takes kind of anywhere from 6 to 8 hours a week for people to put that in. Yes, so that's definitely a con for us. But, you know, these sales reports that people put in, there's different verbiage and it gets kind of confusing and it's very unorganized. And, you know, not everyone uses Excel. Some people still use notebooks. So it's kind of a very tedious process that is taking up a lot of our time.
So
the employees' time.
How do you think it would impact your business if you were to get those 6 to 8 hours back and be able to use that as, you know, contacting potential clients or, you know, being out on the field making sales versus putting that into computers?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you said it. That's a lot of time. 6 to 8 hours, that's a full work day.
Yeah.
And adding that up throughout the entire year, that's a lot of time. And going out and speaking to more people, maintaining relationships with people. I mean, we're losing a lot of business now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, and I feel like, because I see that you're, like you said, currently in Georgia, Tennessee, and North Carolina, But you're looking, from my understanding, over the next 3 years to go to South Carolina, Alabama, North Florida, Kentucky, Mississippi, and Louisiana.
Yes, that's our goal.
So I feel like, especially because Georgia, Tennessee, and North Carolina, I feel like, you know, geographically they're all fairly close. But once you get into, you know, Mississippi, Louisiana, Kentucky, like those are all bigger distances away from, and especially your home base being here in Athens. Those are big distances. So I feel like that would create a lot of problems if you keep with the system you're having now.
Yes, exactly. It's a lot of lost time. We've even had issues where people are going to see the same clients. And that just looks very unprofessional.
Yeah.
And we definitely need to do something about it.
Yeah.
Because when we're growing, that cannot be happening.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And I know from looking at your business that you have a variety of clients and customers, because I saw that you work with government offices as well as universities and colleges, school systems, retailers. So I feel like kind of being able to keep those separated in your system too is because that's just such a wide variety. You don't want to get those mixed up in the wrong areas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a huge customer mix, and we really just need to put all the information in a place where everyone can see it, and you're not just going back and forth and spending that extra time just putting all the information at the end of the week.
Yeah, definitely. Well, now I can give you a little bit of background information on NetSuite and kind of tell you what the benefits are that relates to your problems. So I know that you said that, you know, they have their all of their information and then they kind of have to go through and put it in. Well, for the reports for NetSuite, you can do that on real time and you can access it through mobile devices. So whether it's on your phone, laptop, tablet, whatever, device that y'all use, they'd be able to access it through all of those. And it connects the financials, customers, and commerce. So it puts all of that information into one place, which I think would be pretty beneficial because, like you said, right now it's pretty scattered all over the place. And you can customize it for every business too. So for each individual business, you can kind of customize it however you would like. And then you can also, you know, it's easy to use. We come in and do a training of sorts for your salespeople and kind of teach them, you know, this is how to use it. And you're also able to kind of make a schedule within that and say, okay, this is who I should be talking to this day. And, you know, follow-up calls and whatnot. You can put all of that information in there. And there's a bunch of different levels for what businesses may need. So we can kind of go through, you know, later on if you're interested in pursuing something like this, we can go in, kind of see what level of this that you want and determine what the best, you know, cost is and, you know, go into that a little bit more, but see kind of what would be best for your business to fit into what you need.
Awesome.
So does that sound good?
Yeah. Is the training, how long is the training?
That's usually about a week. So that is a week of lost time. But NetSuite, if you're, you know, you're able to get those 6 to 8 hours back every week. So you're getting that time. And it's all on a cloud too. So once it goes in, you can access it from multiple devices. And I did look, and I believe that whenever I looked at it, because you have your VP of sales, 1 inside sales manager, 6 inside salespeople, 3 outside sales managers, and 18 salespeople. Is that correct?
Yes, that is right.
So I went ahead and added that up, and then I was also planning to give your president access to that too, so he can kind of see what's going on. And so I would give access to NetSuite for 30 people. So that would be able to, you know, all your salespeople would be able to go in right after, you know, they make a call, have a meeting, whatever. They can go in and write their report. And, you know, during that training, maybe we can work on, because you said it was a lot of different verbiage. So maybe during that training, you can decide this should be kind of the expectation and go through that with your salespeople. So that way, whenever you're going through and reading these things,
it makes sense. It's universal.
Yeah, exactly. So would you be interested in kind of doing a demo really fast?
Yeah,
all
that would be really
awesome.
Really awesome.
I'm going to go ahead and move over here.
Okay.
So if you look on here, so here's where you can kind of look for every salesperson. You know, you can look over here and see what they've been doing. And then, you know, going into the companies, seeing how that sale is progressing and whatnot, and, you know, going on and doing that. So if you want to go ahead and try it out.
This seems pretty self-explanatory. This is good. I was a little worried.
Yeah, it's very easy to use, and like I said, you know, you can get it on computers, but also tablets, phones. So I don't know if you send your people out into the field with tablets or phones. I know every company is a little bit different as to what they want to provide, but whichever one you choose, they can access it through there. So that's the best part, and the fact that it's cloud-based and you can access, once that information's put in, you can access it across all devices of people that have access to it.
Wow. So does this look the same on a phone? If I was to pull it up on my phone or my tablet, it's the same?
It looks fairly similar. Obviously, you have the mobile device version of it, but overall, you know, we try to keep it pretty standard and pretty easy to use. So do you have any questions about any of this?
You know, my biggest concern, I guess, would be the pricing.
Yeah,
it seems a little bit too perfect.
We try to think that it's not too good to be true. So I did go ahead and work out the pricing. And of course, this is just more of an estimate for what we would be looking at. But we typically, on average, it's $129 per person per month. So I went ahead and calculated that, and like I said, giving the president plus all of the sales structure access, unless, because I did see that you also have staff, which is, you know, accounting, marketing, HR, but I figured they probably aren't as involved in the sales process and whatnot. So I figured to start out, you would probably just want that group of people, which is 30 people, which comes out to $3,870 per month. And that does sound probably like a big chunk of money, and it is a decent chunk of money for sure. But, you know, like I said before, once you take into account, you're not losing those 6 to 8 hours every week anymore. And, you know, typically, once you start using NetSuite, you're able to increase that revenue by around 10% is what we like to think, especially at the start. And then, you know, you can add on whenever, and as you're expanding, obviously, we can come into those offices for a week, train those new salespeople on how to use it. And it's really easy to, you know, go ahead and add in those extra users and kind of integrate that whole system to where, you know, if there's more, obviously there's going to be more sales managers at those locations and more salespeople, we can go ahead, add them in as users. And then all of that stuff, like I said, it's all cloud-based. So it's all going into that one system so that you're able to access, you know, you're here in Athens. You can see what your people in Mississippi and Louisiana are doing without going to Mississippi and Louisiana.
Make my job a hell of a lot easier.
Yeah, exactly. So do you have any questions as to...
You know, what would a contract include? Is it a year, a 3-year? I'm trying to just get a ballpark.
Yeah, so
what that would look
that's pretty much up to what you're looking for. So if, you know, from the beginning, we can make it, say, a year, because then once you start expanding, then we can kind of revisit and be like, you know, before, whenever we talked, you only had these locations. Now, looking at your business, you've expanded, you have, you know, 3 more locations, you have X amount more salespeople, X amount more managers, all of that stuff, because I feel like that would probably be the best way to go about it for y'all, is to just kind of start with what we have and
for a year.
And then maybe expand as you guys expand, and that would be the best way to do it for y'all. And so I think that's kind of what I had in mind whenever I was going over your business and kind of looking at what your specific case was, is that we would just kind of expand with you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds, we're all about expansion, trying to grow those numbers.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, we can go ahead and, as y'all expand, we can come in with training at the beginning. That way, that kind of becomes the standard for those other locations. Obviously, I think the hardest part would be, you know, the sales managers here and the salespeople here. I think they would have the most trouble getting used to this, just because everyone has their own system. They like to do things the way that they've always done, and it's hard to break those habits. Luckily, this is an easy-to-use system. So hopefully, we make it that way to make sure that it's easy to, transfer over. But the hardest part, I think, is going to be, teaching these people, especially, your older people.
Yeah.
So they typically like to do things the way that they want.
Always. They're still using paper. Trying to get on them.
Yeah, well, we can't have them doing that anymore. So.
But I think you're right, really just explaining and spelling out how many hours that they spend on a weekly basis plugging it into the computer. No one wants to do that.
Well, plus, especially for them, if you translate that to, well, this is
money.
How many hours.
Yeah.
This is how much commission you could make or how many hours of commission, if you divide that out and see, average how many dollars per hour they make in commission, and then translate that to this is how many hours per week. They might change their pace a little bit on, wanting to get on board. So I think getting all of that implemented here is obviously the first step, and then once you start opening those branch offices, getting in there immediately as soon as you hire people, so that way that's just the standard to go by, and that way you're not having them create their own systems and then coming back and being like, hey,
exactly.
So that way it's all kind of integrated and makes your life a little bit easier.
Yeah, and I think after looking at that website, I'm not the most tech savvy. I know some of these older gentlemen and women are not either. Yeah. So looking at that, really explaining the benefits that NetSuite has for PTI really, I think, has struck a chord. And I'm sure after talking to them, they would definitely be on board for it.
Yeah, that's very good to hear. I'll go ahead and follow up with you tomorrow, and we can make a next appointment that we can. I wasn't sure if you wanted to bring in your CFO to kind of discuss.
I will definitely bring in some more people. Just wanted to make sure that this was something that PTI was interested in, and
definitely.
I didn't not waste their time.
Yeah, of course.
Just make sure that it's something that we're interested in.
Yeah, definitely.
We definitely are.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely follow up with you tomorrow and kind of try to set up another appointment. I know coordinating schedules with everyone is always the hardest part.
Assistant.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and contact her, but I know that's usually the hardest part is coordinating schedules with everyone. So hopefully we can come up with a time for everyone to meet. But thank you so much for meeting with me.
It was so great to meet you.
It was so nice to meet you too.